So, with that being said, Chuck, do you want to call him up now that we about to move to the next topic?
Yeah, we can.
All right, gotcha. I forgot to do that too. I did say I was gonna do it.
What's up, y'all?
All right,
What's
let's
up,
talk
man?
about it. You know what we here for.
That's
I
a
do.
fact.
You can hear us both clearly.
Yeah, I can hear y'all both. I
All
got
right.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the little one is asleep, so the other one he's got a lollipop. We should be fine
That's
for a minute.
it.
Word.
Um,
Let's get to it. All right. So, just to be clear, we both think that Tim Duncan is one of the greatest power forwards ever. We just don't think
absolutely.
he is the number one.
There you go.
That's where it starts.
Yep.
Now, huh?
No, I was saying I was agreeing with you,
Okay.
and just for my preference, so that y'all understand where I'm coming from with
Talk
this.
about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
I do not think that Tim Duncan is more talented. I don't
Okay.
think that. I'm not saying like if we're running a pickup game that I want Tim. If I'm like, hey, I need the best available talent. I'm
Okay.
stating,
Yeah.
I'm stating that Tim Duncan in most cases is the better player. And
Yeah.
I know that's kind of hard to differentiate, but it's not though. It's not. That's all I'm saying. It's like when we talk about Derrick Rose
Mm-hmm.
and John Wall, they
Mm-hmm.
both had injuries and they both were special,
Yeah.
but Derrick Rose is the youngest MVP ever in what he faced. He beat Kobe, he beat Bron to this MVP. So like that's all I'm getting at. So
Yeah.
like when I say I'll take him in a one-on-one game, that's me saying it's a very specific situation that I'm taking Tim in a one-on-one game. If
Gotcha.
they're going half court and it's just pure who's putting the ball on the floor and let's get into it, I
Yeah.
gotta go KG.
There
But when
you
I'm
go.
talking about for my preference of basketball player,
Yeah.
what I need and what I want in a basketball player, it
Okay.
is 100% gonna be
Tim
Tim
Duncan.
Duncan. And it's not like it's a big margin or anything like that. Because if I got to pick between the two, I'm not mad if I get either or.
Yeah.
But if I get to pick,
You
it's
picking
like
Tim
chocolate
Duncan.
cake and vanilla cake. I'm gonna take the cake I want,
Yeah.
not the cake that I'm given.
Yeah.
We
But
can we
but
can get we can get into it. Go ahead.
but you do understand, right? Like you saying, about picking Tim Duncan, right? No matter
Mhm.
what team, whether it's one on one, 2-on-2, 5v5, if you plug Kevin Garnett in that system, it would be way more of a monster than if it was Tim Duncan, right?
I That's where I disagree with you because the only setting that I think Kevin Garnett is better than Tim Duncan is potentially a one-on-one setting.
It,
Anything else when it comes to a team sport and
Mm.
the pieces that we're moving and we're using, I'm sorry because there's certain guys who without and I get it. People say all you have to do is pass them the ball. Passing the ball is not hard at all. You know it's hard when the guy who's passing the ball now has to go and get it, and he doesn't necessarily go and get it. And he has to give the guy who's been producing all year round the ball, and that's where we get into this debate. Basketball is a team sport. It's just like football is a team sport. There's factors to basketball, but you have to play both sides of the court. And at the end of the day, consistency usually will beat out talent
yeah.
and work. Hard work always beats talent most of the time in the league.
So with the whole basketball thing being a team sport, right?
Mhm.
It is a team sport, but within that team, it is also it's like if you watch a NBA game, right? At some
Mhm.
point in that game, you're gonna see a 1-on-1. At some point, you're gonna see a 2-on-2. At some point, you're gonna see a 3-on-3, and vice versa. So it is a team sport. But at the same time, the individual makes a difference. It's
Okay.
like
So go ahead, keep going. I'm
so
listening.
that's like Tim Duncan done got the ball on the wing on the ISO.
Hmm.
At that point, it's mano y mano. Now, granted, we
Correct.
still a team, but in this play right here is me versus you.
Off the
So
glass, two
whenever
points.
people say it's a team sport, I do agree, but I think that most people overlook that every single NBA game you also have a 1-on-1, a 2-on-2, a 3-on-3.
Okay.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So, but yeah,
I hear you.
so I mean, I can't really say. I think people put too much weight on it being a team sport. Like if you really think it's a team sport, I think then everybody would agree that LeBron James is the greatest of all time, and then you have to have John Stockton, Westbrook. Those guys have to be in your top five if we talking about team because
So,
nobody impacted the team how they did. But we
so
don't rate it
okay.
like that. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll stop you there
Go ahead.
because if we're going to go down that route, that's a great example for you to say LeBron James would have to be in the top if we're not
He would have to be number one.
evaluating it. If we're evaluating about a team sport, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So here's to diffuse that whole statement right there.
What's
In
that?
2007,
Yep.
LeBron, Larry Hughes,
Mm-hmm.
and Eric Snow,
Yep.
Anderson Varejao. I can go off this roster. Jamario Moon.
Yep.
There was a lot of guys on that team.
Yep.
Mo Williams
Yep.
went to the finals in 2007
Yep.
with the ultimate superstar,
Yep.
unstoppable LeBron James,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And they went and they faced Tim Duncan
Yep.
and Spurs in four.
Yeah, you want to know
And
why? Go ahead.
because I'll tell you, I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
I mean, it the Finals MVP, the so like let's even go down this path, right? I got a series of questions.
Yeah.
So would you say a player who has more points, more rebounds, more statistic blocks, more win shares, more plus minus minutes, more career advanced stats would be the better player in the scenario?
Not necessarily.
Because if we're going off of, because are we going off of the eye or are we going off of the numbers? Because you can see the numbers and we can see the eye. Like
I
we can see.
no, I personally think it's a combination of both.
Mhm.
But the way I
So
view it is, I do the eye test. I give that
mhm.
more than I give like stats. Get
Okay.
what I'm
So
saying? Go ahead.
in your eye test, let's get off of these two
Hmm.
because essentially I'm gonna be honest with you. When you compare the numbers, they're both basically a wash. It's just Tim beats him in statistics just by like point 0.9, a couple points here. You know, like Kevin Garnett played about 200 games more, and
Yeah.
he still is behind.
Yeah.
Um, Kevin Garnett missed more games.
Hmm.
Tim Duncan missed less games, even with load management. Even
Hmm.
with load management, the games he was being sat out of. So that's a durability question right there.
Hmm.
Um, then we can, but like, so okay, when we talk about score, like let's play it this way, right?
Yeah.
Scores. Let's talk scores.
Yes, all.
When I say Kevin Durant and I say Carmelo Anthony, which one of these two scores is better? Because they were a whole lot of eye tests. They both played 1 year in college. One won a national championship. One didn't. One they both were dynamic scorers in the NBA. When I say Kevin Durant and you say Carmelo Anthony, who are you saying is the better scorer? Not player, scorer.
Um. Honestly, I would probably need more time to think about it, but it can go either way.
Okay.
I would say KD is a better shooter, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Melo might be a better scorer, but it can go either way. Like Carmelo is a better scorer than Steph. Steph is just a way better shooter. So it's kind of like,
Correct. So the answer to your question, no, you're absolutely right, and that was what I was looking for.
yeah,
The answer to your question is, and a lot of people talk about three-level scores, and when like basketball is really actually there's five levels, right? There's what you can do in the half court.
I'm a
There's what
pro.
you
I'm gonna probably say Melo might be a better scorer than KD, but go ahead.
Melo is the better scorer than KD because Melo can give me a bucket multiple ways. Melo
Yeah,
can face up, Melo can post, Melo can go out and get it on a wing,
yeah,
Melo can ISO,
yeah,
and Melo can also score in transition. Those
yeah,
are the five levels of scoring: transition, half court, post, face up, wing. Sorry, but not face up, ISO and
yeah,
wing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because those are the five situations you're going to be in a basketball game. You're going to
yeah,
be running with the ball,
yeah,
or you're going to be running without a ball. You're going to be on a wing where you're either shooting from there or you're making a move from there. You're going to be on a block at some point where you have your back to the basket and you have to get to the basket,
yeah.
or you're going to have a situation where it's just you and me, and let's see what happens, right?
There you go. Heck yeah.
So again, when we talk about that,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I would say, hey, I gotta go KG because the way he's gonna get his buckets are
There you
gonna be
go.
more
Smart man.
dynamic. They're
Smart.
gonna be more dynamic. But then when I say, okay, my issue when people do this is I never hear anyone give Karl Malone the same type of beef.
You know what's funny is if we were to do a list, I Karl Malone is kind of high on mine as far as power forwards go.
Yeah, I told several people, probably including you, that he should be ranked higher than what he is.
Karl Malone,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
But he's already you guys realize like he's already so he and I agree with you on this. Karl Malone is like number three in points all time.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And like what we also have to understand is right, like let's look at the dynamics of it. Like so many people try to say things like, oh, Karl Malone, like y'all realize if Karl Malone's not on the Jazz, John Stockton is not who he is.
That's a good
Because
point.
a
That's a
lot of
good
those
point.
and the only reason why I say that is because guess what? As a point guard, you gonna pass the ball to some dudes who's gonna blow some stuff.
That's a
Mm,
fact.
Who's
that's a
gonna
fact.
blow some stuff.
That's a
And when
fact.
I got a guaranteed guy, I'm going to give him the ball.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you get to this discussion, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm going to give him the ball. And that's because Karl Malone is the ultimate consistency individual, just like Tim Duncan,
Yeah.
right? And now here we go. Tim Duncan has two MVPs.
yeah,
Kevin Garnett has one.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Garnett has one Defensive Player of the Year, and they both have the same amount of All Stars.
but you still got to keep in mind though.
Here it go.
Whenever we saying stuff like that, you do know that the team plays a huge factor in people winning MVPs and people winning defensive player.
Absolutely, absolutely,
So
you are absolutely correct. And what I will tell you is this:
yeah,
when you win an MVP,
yep.
you are the most valuable player to not only your team, but you are the
I disagree.
most valuable. This is why I'm going to say. This is why I'm going to
I think
say.
he was
I
actually
don't.
making a pretty good point.
Go
Actually,
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
This is why I'm going to
Not
say.
not only to your team, but you are the most valuable player. Go ahead.
You are the most valuable player when it comes down to the end of games because they factor in a lot of that on the last 2 minutes scoring.
Mm.
And if you are a guy who is impacting the game in the last two, because see, guess what?
Go
One
ahead.
of the reasons why we don't look at, one of the reasons why we don't give Shaq his flowers defensively like people should give him flowers defensively because he wasn't a terrible defender.
No, he
He
wasn't.
was an aggressive defender. So a lot of times in that last 2 minutes, his ass got 4 or 5, and he got to
That's
stay
true.
away
Yeah.
because we need him in the last 2 minutes, opposed to a guy like Rudy Gobert, who's a four-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta
About it.
hide his ass at the end of the bench with 2 minutes left. You know why? Because when I switch out on you, Rudy, guess what? You can't do shit with me at the
Getting
top of
cooked.
this key other than look
Get
at the back of
cooked.
my damn head. That's what I'm finna do to you, Rudy. So that's that's what I said. So when you have guys who are getting subbed out situationally, which again, it never happened to KG and it didn't happen to Duncan. You didn't hide Duncan on defense because guess what? He averaged 2 blocks a game. He had he didn't make mental mistakes defensively. Kept like you have to understand IQ plays a part into this. Tim Duncan is one of the most intelligent basketball players ever to play this game.
You don't think Kevin Garnett is either though?
I do, but I don't think Kevin Garnett is. I don't, and that's the thing. I'm telling you, like it's literally by the skin of your teeth. Who do you want? I'm not
But
saying. I'm not saying that Kevin Garnett's not an intelligent basketball player. I'm saying that Tim Duncan is the better basketball player. He's not the better athlete.
no,
He's
what would make him the better basketball player? Because if you take Tim Duncan out and you put Garnett in there, and you said Garnett, I need you to do exactly what Tim Duncan is doing, the Spurs win at least 8 championships.
in the so here's the reason I'm gonna disagree with you.
Why is that?
One, Kevin Garnett's durability.
No, but
Two,
let me. Can I please say
go ahead.
something?
Go ahead.
Okay, when we talk about Kevin Garnett, right? He
Mhm.
prior to going to Boston, his best teammate was what, a rookie, a sophomore, Stephon Marbury, or a washed up
The trail,
Spreewell.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
hold
kind of
on,
like
hold on.
hold on. So it's kind of like if I'm placed in this situation and all my team got is me, I have to give 1,000%. I have to take over. I have to will this team to a win. Tim Duncan had great players. He had all stars, arguably the greatest coach of all time. Tim Duncan's mindset is, I don't have to go out there and kill myself. I'm gonna just play my role because I know Tony Parker gonna bring me 20. Ginobili gonna bring me 25. If I get double teamed, I got shooters around the corner. I got Bruce Bowen playing defense, so that small forward is not even going. I don't have to guard him and try to contest his
So
shot because he's not getting past Bruce Bowen. So I'm saying the
okay.
durability comes into it. If I'm
So
giving a
that's
1,000% every night, I'm gonna get hurt more than somebody that's giving 80. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
oh, that's a crazy assertion to say that this man was given 80
Did he
when
have
he's
to
the most.
do what Kevin Garnett had to do?
So okay, here we go. Let's go down
He
this
didn't
road.
have to.
Okay, so one,
Go ahead.
Tim Duncan was the guaranteed number one overall pick from the time, like once he touched college,
Yep.
2 years into it, he worked his ass off. He
Yep.
becomes the number one pick.
Yep.
Kevin Garnett says,
Came,
I'm not going to college. I'm going
came out of
straight
high school.
to the league, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. You cannot fault me for being consistent. And also, you got to remember the amount of work KG was doing. KG was playing fourth quarters. I'm sitting down because I've already did what I had to
But
do.
that
We
that helps
win.
my case though.
Back to the team point.
Yeah, that helps my case. It's like Tim Duncan had the luxury of great teammates and arguably the greatest coach of all time. Kevin Garnett was by himself. So you can't. Tim Duncan is supposed to have more rings. He's supposed to have more MVPs because he was placed in a better system.
So
Situation.
so Tim Duncan did what he was supposed to do. Kevin
Yeah,
Garnett did what he was supposed to
yeah,
do with what he had.
yeah,
Okay. And guess what? I
but-
I hear you, brother. That's fine and dandy.
yeah.
My
But
my my
if
question.
I own,
My question.
go ahead.
You put Tim Duncan in Minnesota with what KG had. You think Tim Duncan wins MVP?
Absolutely.
He
All
does
right.
not. They don't even make the playoffs.
That's crazy for you to say that. You realize the year that KG won the MVP, you know the person who was second to him was Tim Duncan, right? And then the years that Tim Duncan wins MVP, we're talking about KG is at 5 or 6 because Shaq is
But
still in the mix.
You,
Like
I,
we still have.
you. That's a good point, but you missing our point that makes that point invalid. If Tim Duncan is on Minnesota, that would mean that KG would have to be in San Antonio. So,
Correct.
so
And it's
I don't think
I,
it works out the same way.
I'm sorry. So here's the example I'm gonna use.
go
Talk
Here's
ahead.
the
about it.
exact example I'm gonna use. Kevin Love in Minnesota was giving you 40 and 20s,
Great player.
and he was having similar heartaches because he was getting to the first round and he was getting booted out.
Yeah.
Basically similar to what KG was going through a
Yeah.
lot of times. KG went to the Eastern Conference Finals one time.
Yeah.
So like it's been proven that
Kevin Love didn't,
no, Kevin Love did not go to the Eastern Conference Finals, but he was still making the playoffs on a terrible team without a lot of talent around him. Is the point I'm getting at.
And
he was
but
putting
but
up. Wait, hold on.
but but
He was putting up.
all
Can
right.
I finish?
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
He was putting up great numbers, and then when we take him and we put him on a winning franchise, the numbers decrease. It's the same thing that happened to Chris Bosh. He was on Toronto and he was putting up superstar like numbers. He goes to Miami and he has to take a roll back. Kevin Garnett goes to Boston. Hey, KG, guess what? We don't need you to score millions of points tonight. We need you to be more of a defensive anchor. Ray and Paul are going to go and score the ball. Like, you can't, bro. Like, that's like somebody being mad because I had a dad and they didn't.
Yeah, but
I can't
see though,
control.
with that being said though, if you talk about your advantages over the guy that does not have a dad, that's where the issue came from.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you started out
Bro.
10 paces ahead of me. You are supposed to
Yeah.
be better than me.
Yeah.
That's
Brother,
all I'm saying.
We call it privilege.
Yeah, that's dad
Life-
privilege. Tim Duncan
life
got
is
great
a-
franchise privilege. Go
Oh
ahead.
nah, we not gonna do this because I'm gonna tell you this right now. life is a circus. It's not a fair. You can't get mad at me
No.
because who my mom chose
It is
turned
not-
out to be something, and your pops turned out
No,
to be
but
something. That's not fair to me.
it is not about getting mad. It is about, let's say Bronny James was born with $1 million. That's like Bronny James coming to you saying, Ken, you broke. Would you be like, hey, you know what? I need to work harder? Or would you be like, you can't call me broke because you was placed in a situation.
Yeah.
Even though you got more money than me, I'm working harder than you. You was just blessed with that situation. So it's not. It's not about getting on them for being great. It's just if you are blessed with certain stuff, you can't kick the guy that was not blessed with that. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Go
The
ahead.
current field I work in, bro, I didn't work, and you can ask Trav, I didn't work everything from maintenance to cleaning toilets to where I am now.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know one thing I don't ever get mad at when I see somebody who has just basically got a college degree and they walk in the door and got a position
Yeah.
equivalent or relevant to mine. You know why I don't get mad? Because guess what? You got to see me out there. And when you see me out there and when shit get tough and you look across and I see that dog and you want to go in the house, but I'm still outside digging, I don't care about none of that. Because at the end of the day, your circumstance is your circumstance. Yeah, absolutely. You got put in a better circumstance. But end of the day, it's my job to cultivate to the best of my abilities of what I have. Now, I would be more disappointed in a guy like Tim Duncan if he gets drafted to the perfect scenario like this and he turns out and he doesn't win anything. I'm more disappointed in that individual.
Yeah,
I'm happy for the next man, but at the same time, you're not going to sit here and say, so that's like discrediting Jordan and Kobe's championships because at the end of the day, they had Phil Jackson, who is considered one of the greatest coaches of all time because they had Scottie Pippen and they had Shaq. They had Lamar Odom and they had like, come on, you're not taking away from them?
Yeah, no, because nobody, Kobe and Jordan never said, hey, Paul Pierce, man, you only got one ring. It's just they were put in their positions. They played their hand the best they could. They got their results out of it, right?
Because look at Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
What do you feel about Charles Barkley? Shaq tells Charles Barkley all the time, I got rings you don't.
Okay.
Ain't nobody got a problem with that.
But let me ask you, because whenever I be thinking about Charles Barkley, I say to myself, Charles Barkley is up there, bro.
Yeah.
Like The
He
the
is.
the disrespect
But see,
that gets put on him and Karl Malone for not having rings,
yeah.
I think is crazy.
But see, that is why when I
Because
judge
winning
basketball,
matters
yeah,
in
winning
sports.
does matter, but it is also situational, right? Like Paul Pierce has a freaking championship ring. T Mac, Paul Pierce, both of them in their prime. Paul Pierce is not close to T Mac, right? But it was just Paul Pierce got blessed with the situation that T Mac didn't get blessed with. So Paul Pierce cannot throw shade or talk down on T Mac because it's
Wait,
like, bro,
hold
you
on.
was in this situation. Take out your teams, take out my teams. Me and you meet
What?
up face to face, mano y mano. T Mac
I think
wins.
that's. I think that's. I agree with T Mac winning. I think that's a terrible example
How
because
is that a terrible example?
Paul Pierce was drafted to Boston. Paul Pierce ain't win nothing until they built a super team for him, and he only won
Okay,
one
but
ring.
T Mac didn't have a super team when he went to the Rockets. He had 2 good years and then his back blown out. my
No,
my whole point
T Mac
is
was T
my
Mac. 2003 T Mac was arguably the
Best
best
player.
thing we ever
Yeah.
seen in
yeah.
our life.
Yeah.
That like I'm not disagreeing with you with that, but it's like I feel like y'all are looking at organizations when we say the Spurs. You do realize the Spurs had no championships when Tim Duncan got drafted, right?
Yes, but you do
None.
you do realize though, right, that the Spurs, Greg Popovich is arguably
He
the
currently
greatest
holds.
coach of all time. What my
He wasn't viewed as that until he started winning.
Hold
my
up.
whole
Both of y'all, hold up.
go ahead.
So, how many championships the Warriors had before Steph Curry got there?
Two.
Yeah, it wasn't real a little bit.
Yeah, but my whole point is like they built a dynasty.
You know
Yeah.
They
I got this shit in the head all day
they
long.
they
They had
built
two.
they built a dynasty off of Steph Curry, but I wouldn't say that Steph Curry is like the greatest point guard ever, though.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm
So to
saying?
be honest with you, his career is not over. If Steph wins another ring, that ties him with Magic, and now we start to get into the conversation because at the end of the day, when we look at Magic Johnson as a point guard, no one talks about Magic for handles. Everyone talks about Magic for creation. So like we have things like we don't. Y'all have to understand, Magic is the original point forward. He just got put
True.
into a point guard spot. 9 times out of 10, Magic Johnson was not even guarding the point guards on those teams. He was guarding the small forward or the power forward. James Worthy would guard the small forward. James Worthy was guarding the best athletic between the two. You hid Magic on defense in certain situations because he was not a defensive guy. Like, I'm not going to sit here and play like Magic's not the greatest at one point. But, okay, my man said something that I loved the other day. He said, he's a Stockton guy. So am I. Because you know why? I'm a sub 6 foot. I'm a 6 foot point guard who was a pass first guy who had 2 McDonald's All Americans on his team. I knew my role. And guess what? Yeah, it is easy passing the ball to them. But guess what? When someone shoots it off the side of the damn backboard, it kind of pisses you off because you just sat there and you worked to go get that. So at the end of the day, yeah, I'm going to pass it to the stars and I'm going to get it done. I don't go and look at their highlights and say, hey, kids, look at your dad. I passed that ball. No, I don't do that. I say, hey, I was a walk-on. I did what I had to do. I got hurt. It didn't work out. I did this. I did that. I kept working and doing what I had to do. But ultimately, we're not going to sit here and say that you, like, granted, Curry's a great shooter. Yeah, the greatest shooter. But he's also a complete point guard when we look at his assist to turnover ratio.
Agree.
I get it. When we're watching the games, because we're eye test people, right? When we're watching, I look at numbers too because I do enjoy.
We all look at numbers, yeah.
someone's
No, yeah, we all look at
doing.
numbers, yeah.
But when I'm looking at the actual eye test of what Curry is 100% a point guard, and he is 100% in the conversation to be the greatest point guard when it's all said and done.
Agree.
We're talking about careers that aren't over.
Yeah.
So, because when it's all said and done, James Harden, he might move up into the top 5 of scoring, but no one's placing him above Kobe or Jordan.
True.
When we talk shooting guards, we all know where we're going with this.
Yeah.
Shooting guards 9 times out of 10 is Jordan, Kobe, and then some people might say D Wade. Some people might say T Mac if he didn't get hurt. But again, all these ifs. My daddy used to tell me if
was the fifth.
No, he used to say if my aunt stood up and pissed She be my uncle, but she don't. So she sit her ass down and pee, and that's
That's
who we
funny.
got. So I mean, I get it. We can talk about the if. We can talk about the if.
So let me ask you a question, Ken.
Yes, sir. What you got?
And please answer the question, all right?
I will, of course, answer your question. I have no fear of any
So
question.
we were talking about Tim Duncan and Kevin
Hmm.
Garnett, right?
Correct.
If you think that you are better than someone, the best
Hmm.
way to figure that out is, right, me and you face to face, one on one. There's no noise. You can't call for help. I can't call for help. Let's sit here. Let's battle it out. May the best man win. Can we
Correct.
both agree that Kevin Garnett would win that matchup?
I can say to you this: only thing that I'm gonna go with in this scenario, if this is just us rolling the ball out and we're going mano a mano, there's no dribble rules, there's no parameters, correct? You're
Yeah,
just talking just straight hoop.
yeah.
I'm going to say I'm going to give a slight edge to Kevin Garnett, but he's not
Okay,
like we not going to say because what are you saying? Are you
but
saying it's
Ken, what
11?
what I'm
You saying it's
saying
going to be
is
11-1,
no, no.
11-2?
No.
What I'm saying is right. If it's me and you in a cage, you don't have anybody to hide behind. Nobody's drawing you plays. Nobody is hitting you
Uh
in
huh.
your spot. You have to get everything yourself. If we do
Hmm.
that and I come out on top most games, it is safe to say that I'm better than you. You cannot see me. If you need
So,
if you need somebody
hmm,
to handle the ball till you get in your spot, and if you can't
hmm,
get in your spot, I'm not going to pass it to you. Pass it to the other guy. If you need that, versus this other guys like, hey, I don't care what's going on, give it here. You cannot tell me that you are better than that person. That's like if I were
so,
to come to Walmart and I only work in dairy and I do great in dairy, but you can work in every single department and do great. I would be stupid to say that I'm a better worker than you. It's like, no, I have to be in this department, in this area for me to excel. And then you over there,
okay.
like store manager, put me in any store, any shift, any schedule, any
Uh
department.
huh.
I got this. I would
Okay.
be a fool to tell you that I'm better
Hmm.
than you, right?
Okay. So now that's a great example. Do you know the percentage of? Do you know how many times KG was the actual initiator of offense for his team?
I mean, I'm sure it wasn't as much as the point guard and the shooting guard.
Yeah, but I've seen KG bring the
So,
ball up court though.
Yeah,
So
several times.
yeah.
okay, hold on. Just
Okay.
watch, just watch where I'm going with this,
Go ahead.
because the way the human brain works is over time our brain develops and evolves into different things. So right, so like I think a lot of times we take the standard of what today's game is, and we place the parameters on.
No, that's not what I'm doing.
No, just I'll let you go, brother. I got you. I'm
Go
not
ahead.
saying that's what you're doing. I'm not saying that's what you're doing.
Go ahead.
I'm saying that's how a lot of people get to where you got. I'm not saying you got
Yeah,
there
go
that
ahead.
way.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I can understand and I can see where you're coming from with your angle.
There you go.
You're coming from it with your angle, individual overall talent.
That's it.
And what I'm telling you is I think you're overlooking the other individual's overall talent to get to where he got, because it wasn't like he was in a weak draft class. It wasn't like he was like he like I'm starting to feel like people really be trying to treat Tim Duncan like he's fucking Draymond
No,
when
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
even.
no.
no.
Every
I'm 100% because he was the number one on his team just like KG was.
Ken,
But
no, but
yes,
listen though.
KG.
Ken, remember I led the conversation with we both think that Tim Duncan is one of the greatest power forwards of all time. We
Absolutely.
just think KG is better. We not saying that like
Or
maybe we think Tim Duncan number two. But because what it sounds
I'll
like
take
is
that if you say that.
we're saying that Tim Duncan's like number 8 or 9. Like we not saying that. We saying that we think he's
Okay,
one of the
thank you
greatest
for
ever,
saying
but we
that.
got
Thank you
KG
for saying
Yeah.
above
that.
him.
Thank you for saying that because I was starting to feel like y'all are really out here making it seem like Tim Duncan
A
is
scrub.
not
Yeah.
a top five in his
No,
position.
No. We
no.
said that on the video.
Yeah,
We said in the video, I said top 5 greatest power forwards of all time, hands down. There's no debate. And then when they get to top 3, I could see how it could get shaky.
Yeah.
So what three power forwards like are you placing above Tim? And if it's something I can say, okay, I can see it, I can see it. But the only reason why I struggle with it is because again, when I go my all time teams at this point, I I used to get cussed out for this. I used to put Stockton in the conversation because he was part of the 90-50-40 club and that he was just so consistent. He was rarely injured. I play a lot of factors into it. And a lot of people say, you Magic won. I hear y'all on that, but truth of the matter is Magic was the blueprint for LeBron before LeBron was even playing.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
If you took Magic Johnson and you put Dominique Wilkins together, ta-da, you got a LeBron because it's the athletic, ball handling.
I see what you're saying.
Point forward. But so when I go here, I go Steph is my point of all time. I go Jordan is my shooting guard of all time.
Okay.
I go even though I don't care for the guy, I go Bron. His impact and what he has done in the position of small forward, he's there. And then I go, Tim Duncan is my most consistent superstar I have ever seen. Yeah. I know what I'm getting with Tim. I know what I'm getting. I'm getting 20, 10, and 2 every single night. That's what I'm getting. Yeah. Then for my center,
who your center?
9 times out of 10, I double back and forth between Kareem and Shaq.
Okay.
The only reason why I double back and forth between Kareem and Shaq, Kareem with the 6 titles, the unstoppable moves, his impact when he was young, like the movements that he was facing. The man was fighting racism and basketball at the same time. So it's a lot going on there. And then when I say Shaq, he was an immovable force. He was the most dominant big man you have ever seen. There was nothing you could do. They created rules to try to stop him. He was the most dominant player I have ever seen.
Big man. Make sure you say big man. Chuck get offended when people say player.
There you go.
Michael Jordan's the most dominant player. But if we're talking about big man, then he's the most dominant big man. Yeah. If you want to go that route. Yeah. So honestly, like I said, y'all, and the only reason why I put Tim there is just because I'm going off of rings.
I'm with you.
And I'm going off of the fact that because Joker has a similar format. He's not sexy to watch play basketball. He's not, but consistently he's dominant.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Joker is entertaining to watch, man. I can't even lie to you.
I mean, for me, when I think of entertaining to watch, I think Blake Griffin. I think Allen Iverson.
Okay, I see what you're saying. The ones that can real flashy,
I
but
think
Joker,
Kyrie Irving,
Joker for a power forward, I would say he is flashy for a power forward. Because what other power forward? If you're not counting Magic as a forward.
There you go.
But no, all right, so check this out. I think we getting to a point where we can start figuring out how to wrap it up. So what do you think about his solid 5 all time?
Your solid 5, you had Curry, Jordan, Bron, Tim Duncan, and
he said it's a toss up between Kareem and Shaq.
I mean, it's a pretty straight 5.
Let him tell him who your 5 would be if you all time each position. Because that's what that was for him.
All time each
point guard,
position.
you go, because that's what he had just there.
Man, I can go back and forth either Magic or Curry. Either one.
That's fair. I respect it.
2 guard, you can go. I think Jordan is a greater player, but I think Kobe is a better player, so I can go either or.
Okay.
No, we gonna talk about it.
Talk about it.
What's so funny, kid? Hey, I want to laugh too.
I agree with you, right? So here's why I always laugh when people say this, because it's like if I hit copy and paste, I get the same exact thing, except for we go to accolades and results, and Jordan has the defensive player of the year and Kobe.
But you do
Yeah,
understand. Okay, well, all right,
so,
yeah, all right, all
so
right.
I
So,
feel offensively, Kobe is a tad bit better. Defensively, Jordan is a tad bit better.
yeah, I think
Kobe
he was
is
just
Okay, I can rock.
he was laughing that he heard this before. It wasn't that he was laughing at the
Yeah,
pick.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at the pick. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
like
Yeah.
no. It's just like you know what I'm saying. Like that's like me saying, my oldest and my second child. It's like they both my sons,
Yeah.
and I love them both to death.
Yeah.
The only difference is they got different mamas.
That-
Yeah. So, all right, yo, small forward.
They
Okay.
both look like me. Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
small forward all the time. I would say Braun.
Okay.
So, question: Am I judging this off of like greatness slash the NBA, or am I judging this off of who's better? Because
So
that's
you
a
judge it
different
off of
list.
whatever no, you judge it off of whatever you like. I literally take my five. My five is off of my standard is winning, who I think is the best, and who I think gives me the same like talent, like
Consistently
I
and stuff,
think,
yeah.
Yeah, like everybody I listed, I think is a generational talent. I think
Okay.
Tim Duncan is a generational talent.
Gotcha.
I just think he is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna do mine off who I think is better. I got Curry. I got Kobe. I got Braun. I got Kevin Garnett. Center. I got I got Shaq for the center.
Okay.
That's who's better. I think Kareem, he's greater, but Kareem had Magic. Shaq had Kobe. Kobe shooting that thing.
That's a fact.
Magic or Shaq.
Pass the ball, yeah.
My only other question is,
Yes,
you're
sir.
from South Carolina, right, brother?
Yes, sir.
Is any of this Kevin Garnett love because he's also from South Carolina before he moved to Chicago?
No, I
And
thought that I got a homeboy named Roach. He was saying for years that Kevin Garnett was the best player in the league, and I was saying he's not.
Yeah.
I was picking Tim Duncan over KG, and then I was picking Dirk over KG. But then I sat back, I watched KG, and I checked the stats, and I was like, KG just got inbounded the ball, came down court, did a freaking double cross, and went to the basket. And I was like, I don't think Tim Duncan can do that. So yeah,
no. So
I just started giving. I just started giving Garnett the respect he deserved probably within the past maybe 10 years. That's whenever I was like, he might be number one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And this conversation right here probably will put KG a little bit higher when I'm ranking my all-time power forward. But like, yeah, nah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you because,
So
we never saw that.
I think that you thought, just like our comment section thought, that we was being disrespectful to KG. I mean, to Tim Duncan. Now, I do want to preface this by this, right? So, we went out of town and I met Chuck, brother-in-law. Yeah. And
Excuse me.
so they was outside talking basketball while I was watching UFC. And they called me out there to build a lineup, and I couldn't draft people that was already drafted.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so when we got to the power forward position, Tim Duncan was still available, but Tim Duncan ain't one of my favorite power forwards of all time. And for the team that I was trying to build, I wouldn't need a Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
So I picked Amari Stoudemire. But
Okay.
it's one of those situations
Not a
where
bad pick.
the team matters.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I won't need Tim Duncan for this situation. Let me get a regular power forward that will just do their part of hey, even if I don't get the ball, it's fine. I'll just, do whatever.
I got a perfect example.
Go ahead.
We take if the team matters.
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Chris Paul and Amari. Chris Paul and Blake Griffin,
Yeah.
they'd be superstars.
Yeah,
Chris Paul and Tim Duncan, they're getting swept in the first round.
Dang.
Ooh,
So
sir.
Chris Paul and Tim
No,
Duncan,
no.
they wouldn't be as great as Chris Paul and Amari, Chris Paul
Yeah.
and Blake.
Yes.
They wouldn't be
Yes.
as great.
I agree. Now,
Here's the reason why
you gotta agree with that. You got because
They style of play.
Yeah, it literally Amari whole thing was his athletic ability. That's
Griffin,
the whole point of the
I'm glad y'all did this.
Lob
This is
City,
beautiful.
Lob City became who they became because Chris Paul was great at passing the ball in areas that they could go get it.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan, although he can catch alleys, I've seen him catch them. He ain't catching them like Amari and Blake Griffin.
So that's a beautiful statement, but we're basing passing the ball off of. So listen, let me tell you something right now. Chris Paul is my all-time favorite guy.
Yeah,
He's just not my best because I'm not delusional.
I understand that. Yeah, I absolutely understand it. Because
Literally-
Rondo is my favorite, but I never, when we talking all-time point guards, I know it would be foolish for me to throw him out there.
Literally, I'm gonna tell you this right now. In high school, I was trying to be.
It's louder than
That
you.
was what I modeled. That's what I modeled my game off of. The
Chris
pass
Paul?
first defensive. Yes, pass
Gotcha.
first defensive point guard who can score
Yeah.
anywhere from the 3 to the mid. I shot so many floaters in high school.
Gotcha.
You know, I got benched one time because I had a regular jump shot and I shot a damn floater.
Dang.
Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you how much I love. So this is the reason why I'm going to say I have to disagree with you, because in those last 3 to 4 minutes, when I'm trying to create for my power forward, let's just say I throw that double on Amari or I throw that double on Blake, because we saw how this worked out. And you know me, Trav, I'm a Clippers fan.
Yeah.
Watch a lot of this stuff here. When we take Blake out of the equation and we can't throw it up to him, and now we isolating him and he's got to do footwork on the block or he's got to catch it on the pick and roll. A lot of basketballs have bounced off of Blake Griffin's knees. A lot of basketballs have slipped through his hands.
Yeah.
That's what don't happen to Tim Duncan.
Man,
In a
get out of
pick and roll
here.
situation.
Get out of here.
Huh?
Get out of here.
I mean, he talking about Blake Griffin. I could give him that with Blake Griffin, but Amari Stoudemire is who
But
I
that-
chose.
you
Though
can't say
I
that
couldn't
stat,
get that.
though, because Tim Duncan do not catch nearly as much difficult passes as Blake Griffin got to catch. So you can't
That's a
say
good point.
it
That's
the
a good
ball be
point.
Oh,
bouncing.
wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
I hear you, brother. Listen, one had Tony Parker and one had Chris Paul.
Yeah,
They're both really good elite passers, but would you not say that Chris Paul was a better passer than Tony Parker?
Hands down. But the way
Okay, so hold on. Wait, let me cook. So would you not say that Blake Griffin and Tim Duncan, you would say Tim Duncan would be a better finisher under the rim than Blake, right?
no, not even
Under,
close.
not above. So you think Blake Griffin is a better
Oh, he said
Or
under, so like the
under the
bank
rim.
shot and layups,
layups,
floaters.
floaters, like hook shots? Like
Yeah, Tim Duncan would be better. Yeah, when you said under the rim,
Okay.
I'm thinking, because Shaq play under the rim.
I'm not talking about rising above the rim. I'm talking about unathletic scoring.
Yeah,
Unathletic scoring. I'm talking about pick and roll, and I got Chris Paul and Tim Duncan on the pick and roll, and I got Blake Griffin and Chris Paul on the pick and roll. Who's going to give me more plethoras of scores? Who's going to give me a more variety of scoring other than just a dunk or a layup? Tim Duncan is going to give you more because he's going to be able to float to the rim. He's going to be able to, hey, I caught it, back to the basket, off the backboard. Hey, I caught it, reverse layup on the other side of the rim.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I caught it. I can finish with my left or my right. Trust me, I'm a Blake Griffin fan. I love the dude to death. I hate that he had that great season in Detroit after he left us because he still has something left. Trust me, I'm telling you, if you swap out Chris Paul, it's no different than if Chris Paul would have went with Kobe. We know what would have happened. He would have got way more titles.
that's cap.
What?
It's not.
You don't think the Chris Paul being
People say
vetoed?
that, but it's not. They gameplay don't fit. When Kobe had Steve Nash, I don't even think we had make the playoffs.
Steve Nash had a broken back. Steve Nash was already injured. That
But
team you had,
the point is,
they were the all-time handicap team.
but but Kobe and Chris Paul, everybody say it would have been great, but if we actually sit down and dissect it, though, it wasn't gonna work at
I
all.
mean, we got glimpses of it with him and Kobe playing together on Team USA. I mean, I get it. I respect it because a lot of people don't like that statement because they think it's like diminishing Kobe to a certain extent. And I'm not trying to do that.
Nah,
I'm
I
just
wouldn't
saying
say
that
that.
I think we saw what Kobe did with Smush Parker and Derek Fisher.
Mhm.
If you give him a guy who he can actually say, hey, he's a scoring threat other than just a pull-up jump shot or a drive to the basket, now that opens up the floor a little bit more for Kobe to do some work. Because at times Kobe was scoring on double and triple teams, similar to Mike. So like, and they both have something in common. They never had a superstar elite point guard. Ron Harper was a little bit towards the end of his career when he got him. So I don't want to hear Ron Harper. Steve Kerr was a spot up shooter. Derek Fisher was a spot up shooter. You had Smush Parker, Sasha Vujacic.
It wasn't
Like,
gonna
I
work.
mean,
It wasn't gonna work.
yeah. So I honestly, I think it would have worked because he would have been able to do. He still would have had Andrew Bynum, and Andrew
So
Bynum still
you think
probably becomes.
you think Braun and Luca gonna work?
I think Bron and Luca with Bron 4 years ago. Sure,
No,
Bron is just at this point.
No, it won't work unless somebody on the other team get hurt. Because LeBron is best when he's on the ball. Luca is too. Chris Paul is best when he's on the ball. Kobe is too. So it's kind of like it might look good on paper, but once you in the game, you know what I'm saying? It don't look as good because Kobe ain't standing in the corner for Chris Paul, and Chris Paul ain't gonna stand in the corner for Kobe. He might do it one or two plays, but he ain't gonna just be like, man. No.
So
We got the James Harden, Chris Paul situation.
James Harden, Western Conference Finals.
What happened?
Chris Paul gets hurt. Western Conference Finals. Chris Paul gets hurt, and it's over.
They never liked each other though, so I just don't think it would have worked even if if Chris Paul didn't get hurt.
Trav, I got 3 state championships international. I hated a bunch of them niggas. It don't matter. It don't matter, bro. Like, hoop is hoop. Like, if we can hoop, we can hoop. Like, at the end of the day, I ain't got to kick it with you off the court. You ain't got to kick it with me off the court. As long as you come in and do your job, it's going to be what it is. It's just like work. I don't like a bunch of them, but at the end of the day, we come in, we do what we got to do, and I go home, and it is what it is. It ain't nothing personal. So I agree with you on that, though. Like, I mean, I can understand the angle for sure. Like, these are all situations that we will never, ever.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah. That is what a lot of the debates are. It's like if this was that or if that was this type stuff. So
like if KD get another ring, he's better than Tim Duncan all the time.
You said KD
then he'll
gets
just
another
have
ring?
2, ain't it, or 3?
If KD get another one,
You have 3.
KD, yeah, he got 2 now.
Yeah.
Oh, so wait, you consider Kevin Durant a power forward?
No, I was trolling just now.
There's some people who believe that. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, but again, I would say talent-wise, Kevin Durant is a better talent than Tim Duncan. Yeah. I just think that it's hard. We're talking about generational versus generational. KG is a generational talent. Like that's what we're literally sitting here breaking it down. Like, you know, God had all these disciples. Which one was better? They all disciples, bro. Like, they all great. Mm-hmm. Like, we can't get mad at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, trust me.
True.
Like, Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan was both on the 2004 team that blew it to Mono Ginobili.
But I don't know if you ever saw this video, but there was, and we do need to wrap up. So I'm gonna say this. We can talk about it, and then we gotta go. But there was a video of the Team USA practice, and they was doing the 1v1 thing where it's like it was like knockout, and KG beat the whole team. Mm-hmm. You ever saw that?
I have, and I also watched the one where Kyrie Irving beat the whole team.
Yeah. Do you think Tim Duncan could have beat the whole team?
Huh?
Do you think Tim Duncan could have did that?
No. Just like
Okay.
I also,
All right, and
like I also think Kyrie Irving beating all of those guys still doesn't like.
you know what's
Like,
crazy?
he's not better than Kobe.
I think- I think that if the 1v1 thing, you know how they talking about the 1v1 thing for All-Star Weekend? I think that if Kyrie could come back healthy, like I would say if we got Kyrie before the injury, I don't see nobody beating Kyrie one-on-one in All-Star Weekend. But he going to be hurt when he come back, though. Go ahead.
And I know y'all gotta go, and this is the last thing I'll say, and I'll shut up and I'll leave y'all alone.
Nah, you good.
But what I'll say is the reason why we're never gonna see that is as a person who was a former hoop, like you're not gonna put yourself in a situation to get embarrassed.
Yeah,
I agree.
And
I agree.
Can you imagine the type of slander some of these cats is gonna get?
Oh yeah, that's
Even if
a
you
guy
just
like
look at
Spencer
the
Dinwiddie goes out there and puts belt to ass
right.
to an all-star.
True.
So they're not gonna do it because of pride. Because you're gonna lose.
100%.
If you lose, you're gonna lose everywhere. You're gonna lose money.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose endorsements. You're gonna lose women.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose
So much.
everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Because you will never see that format.
Agreed.
It's the same reason they took that NFL skills challenge out with the quarterbacks when they was throwing it at the target.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Because now your contract messed up, bro. I saw you. You couldn't even hit the target.
That's a fact.
Like, bro, it'll never happen.
But nah,
It's too much pride.
the reason I brought it up was because, you know, the women, they were doing it in the unrivaled league. So that's like, you know, one of those topic of conversations or whatever. So, but yeah.
I ain't even gonna say nothing, bro.
We appreciate you picking up, dog. And we I think we got to more of a level of understanding. I think that you thought that we were saying Tim Duncan was like number 10.
Yeah.
We wasn't saying that. We were saying that we just think KG's up there. Yeah.
Yes,
Nah, I respect it now. And like I said, again, it was never I was never looking at KG as he was like a scrub or nothing like that, bro. I was looking at KG. Literally, we talking 1A and 1B.
Yeah,
Him,
I remember you saying that.
That's really all it is. It ain't no, because trust me. And another thing about me is I've never been a guy who, I'm not going to sit here and do all this talking with you. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to get to it. And when we look at the stats at the end of the day, you did all that talking and you were still behind me.
Dang. Gotcha. Well, hey, man, we'll hit you up another time, man. Yeah, you know, we still be trying to do the questions and stuff, but we just never get all the way down the list like we supposed to. But yeah,
no problem, man. Y'all have a great day. I appreciate the conversation.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I'm saying? Call your boy anytime you want to talk hoop. I got a little information on that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Whenever we jump into hoops talk, I'm definitely gonna say let's see what Ken thinks. So
let's do it.
I got you.
All right, good. Appreciate it.
All right,
Have a good one.
Hold it down.
Yes, sir.
All right.
This is hard pass, Kyle. This is hard pass. I'm gonna give it up.